I had a meeting with two beautiful friends of mine over lunch, and one of them ordered for Gari fotor. And I'm like, of all the things on this menu, why Gari fotor? But interestingly, that's what inspired this recipe. On the menu today is some Gari fotor and peppered crab, guys. Watch out and see how I make this recipe. I have with me here 2.5 cups of crispy Gari. If your Gari is not crispy, you can just roast it in your frying pan and then you get it nice and crispy. I added 1/3 cup of water because I don't want this to be too soaked in the water. I want the consistency that you are seeing on the screen at this moment. Now, for my crabs also, I have shared the recipe on how I clean my crabs properly. I'll leave it in the link below. You can check it out. So to that, I'm adding in some onions, some salt, and just a little water. Now this is going to steam my crabs, but for a longer period than usual. I have some onions, green pepper, scotch bonnet pepper, garlic, and ginger, and I'll be blending that not smoothly. Okay, so I'll be blending that. Now here is our crabs steaming nicely. Every now and then I just go in and stir it. I also have some plantain frying on the side because why not? It's such a great combination. Now after I'm done steaming my crab, I'll just pour some oil into my pan, and this is the pepper, the onion, the garlic, and the ginger that I blended. I'll go ahead and fry this in the oil nicely. I'll just rinse out the the blender with just some small water and fry this. This will enhance the flavor of all these ingredients. Okay, and I'll also add in some seasoning cube. I'm not adding some salt because I'll be adding the crabs, and the crabs I seasoned it with some salt, and also the seasoning cube has a bit of salt in it, so yes, that works. I also have my dried herbs. These are mixed herbs that I put together: basil, mint, parsley that I dried, and then I just made into this. Very easy to put together. So once I'm done frying this nicely, the longer you fry it, you enhance that flavor. Once I'm done frying it nicely, I'll just add in the crabs, and then I will mix it very well with the pepper because I want the pepper to get to every part of that crab in here. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and fry that nicely, and once that is fried for about 3 or 4 minutes, I'll just go ahead and add in some onions and some scotch bonnet pepper, sorry, some green bell pepper, which also add more texture, crunch, and also add to the flavor and taste as well. So as easy as that, our peppered crab is ready. Now I'll be taking out the crabs and the pepper and leaving out the oil in the saucepan. I don't need the oil. I just needed the oil to fry this pepper. Okay, and so if you're not going to use oil, then you're making like maybe just peppered crabs, you can minimize the amount of oil that you'll be using. Now the rest of the oil that is left in the pan, I'm adding in my carrots, and I'll be frying that for about 2 minutes. And I'm frying the carrots first because carrot is quite hard, and I'm doing this under high heat. Okay, because I don't want it to be soggy. I want it to still be crunchy in a way. I also go ahead and then fry my onions as well. Then I had some cabbage in there. I'm like, okay, it's just some leftover cabbage. Why not add that as well? So I added the cabbage to this. You can add any veggies of choice, any veggies that you have, and then some and green bell pepper. Now I'll just throw in a little salt, okay, just to activate the sweetness in these veggies, nothing more. So you can also add in some black pepper. Once I'm done frying it, I'll just go ahead and add the Gari. To make it easy for you, you can add in batches, you add and stir, and then when you feel like you need more, you can add as well. And when I added this, at this point, you can even eat this when you mix it nicely at this point. So in case you are just going to do it this way, you can add in some pepper, okay, for spice if that's what you want, and make your Gari a bit wetter. But for this particular one, I'll be adding this stew. This stew is from my zongo inspired stew recipe that I shared on the channel, and we have consumed all the protein in the stew. So initially I was like, okay, we might as well use it for jollof, and then I got inspired to do the Gari fotor. So that is how come I didn't make my Gari very wet, because I know the stew is also going to add in a bit of moisture, and I don't want it to be very wet, but it's all according to your taste. Okay, and so this stew was also nice, you know, that zongo taste. It was also so nice, and then I added that, I fried it, and here we are. Our Gari is nice and ready. I'm just garnishing it with some spring onions, and then here's a spicy crab, and then of course I bought some eggs and added some veggies, and then the plantain that we fried. And this was so good, guys. It was so delicious. It's just a way of using your leftover stews. I'll leave the link to the stew also in my description box, so that you have a look at it if you are interested. But this was so good. Shout out to my friend Ruth for ordering your Gari photo, which inspired inspired this recipe. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Sianoki. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Kindly support me by liking this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook. Shout outs to all my Facebook fam, my amazing fam on Facebook and on YouTube as well, and on the platforms. I really appreciate you. I'll see you again in another video. Do stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.